our next guest made the headlines 2 weeks ago because he's Princeton's first Black valedictorian, and that's in the school's 274-year history. Joining us this morning is none other than the Nicholas Johnson and his parents, Dr. Dexter Gregory Johnson and Dr. Anita Marie Brown Johnson. Good morning and welcome to Smile Jamaica. It's morning time.
Good morning. How are you?
I am good, thank you. Doctors, I told you halfway through it's going to become mommy and daddy. So pardon me if it does become that. So, mommy, I'm going to start with you. First of all, how does it feel knowing that Nicholas made history?
Oh, it feels just simply wonderful. We're so grateful for Princeton having recognized our son's commitment to excellence in this manner. The additional distinction of having made history is icing on the cake.
Yeah.
In that respect. We're grateful to God for having guided his path to this point. We're in awe of all that he has accomplished at such a young age, and we are hopeful that he will inspire others to follow in his footsteps.
Daddy, I know you're very proud. Talk to me a little bit about Nicholas's work ethic. I'm looking at the achievements. Yes, I'm looking at the achievements of both. I'm looking at the achievements of both parents, and it's easy to assume that Nicholas would also pursue the academic path, but it doesn't happen that way all the time in families. So tell me what's so special about Nicholas?
Nicholas has a unyielding or unending drive to succeed, and I've seen it in motion for the past 22 years. I'm a hard worker when it comes to studying, but what I do is a joke. He's tenacious. The tenacity it's just very impressive. From he was a small child, when he came home and he had homework, we never really had to say, do your homework. He would do it and come back and ask for more. He just had that drive to just learn and just suck everything up.
Yeah.
It's always been.
And Nicholas is sitting between you two and saying they're talking about me as if I'm not here. Nicholas, what drives you? As a young man, you pursued operations research and financial engineering. I've never heard of that in my entire life. What drives you?
I've always had an extremely analytical mind from a very young age. I love to play chess. I played chess very competitively during high school and during primary school. And I also really loved math. I love to compete in math contests and also just to learn about interesting math concepts that often weren't presented in the normal education system. So when I got to Princeton, I really wanted to continue to pursue those passions. And operations research is also a field that I wasn't familiar with before starting university, but it's one that I've really fallen in love with. It's a field that's focused on how to make good decisions with limited information. And I think that practice of knowing how to make good decisions is something that is useful across all sectors and something that is very impactful in the world.
Yeah. First Black valedictorian. First of all, did you ever think you would be valedictorian? And when you were told, how did that make you feel?
I didn't have being valedictorian as one of my goals going into Princeton. I think my goal was really to take courses in subjects that I was really passionate and really curious about. And then within those courses to do my best to master the material to the best of my ability. I was it felt extremely rewarding when I was first announced as the valedictorian. It was incredible to have the work that I had done during my previous 4 years at Princeton being recognized with such an incredible honor. And I also felt very privileged to be given the opportunity to address my classmates on the day of our commencement, a very significant day in our lives.
Yeah. Daddy, I mean, to hear that your child's valedictorian is one thing, but to realize that he's the first Black valedictorian in the school's 274-year history, it must have been mind-blowing to you.
You're absolutely right. It was exhilarating when they told him. It occurred to me that he might be the first, and I didn't really want to get into that with them. They called a week later and actually told him they had gone through their archives and they could not find anyone else. And that's when I said, "Oh my God, Nicholas, do you realize what you've done here?" And then it just exploded onto the global world stage.
Yes. Mommy, tell me, which one of you tried to write the speech for him?
Listen, let me put it this way. That's a very intuitive question. Nicholas has had a lot of training. He's written many speeches, to get to this day. And so, of course, Nicholas wrote his own speech. Now, of course, we're a little bit privileged in terms of having a little bit of a bird's eye view of, what he hopes to say and convey.
Yes.
We're very proud of the message that he has chosen to share with his classmates on this very special day. But yes, Nicholas gets all the credit for the speech.
All right, Nicholas, I know they tried to see it. When they say the first Black valedictorian, that brings with it some kind of responsibility. Or I should ask, do you feel that kind of responsibility, particularly in the way you're crafting your commencement speech?
I've always felt a responsibility to give back to the communities that have shaped my journey thus far. My path is truly a reflection of all individuals, all communities that have contributed to my upbringing. And I think now, especially given this particularly global platform that I've been provided, I do have a certain responsibility to uplift groups of people that I feel the strongest connection to, but also all people who strive to pursue their passions and might have to break barriers in doing so. In the context of my speech specifically, I do really hope to connect with my classmates and inspire them to really have the confidence to go out into the world and attack the most pressing problems, particularly in the face of us graduating into a global pandemic, graduating in an environment that has never really before been seen. So I do really hope to be able to inspire and motivate my classmates to continue to create in the way that they have been doing for the past 4 years.
Yeah, and significantly, you're graduating and you're going to be interning as a hybrid quantitative researcher and software developer at the D.E. Shaw Group. How excited are you to start this internship?
I'm extremely excited. D.E. Shaw is a leading global investment and technology firm that takes a very disciplined, almost academic approach to studying the global financial market. So I really hope to deepen my knowledge of the global financial system and with a specific focus on the role of technology in that system.
Well, let me tell you, you have inspired everyone, people who are just heading out to school, who've left school, who are hoping to return to school, because you've shown them that hard work brings success. So thank you so much for joining us. And Mommy and Daddy, congrats to you both. We're extremely proud of both of you because without you, Nicholas wouldn't have been the great person that he is. Thank you so much. And Mommy, we have to claim you. We know you're Jamaican, right?
I sure hope you do.
Yes.
It goes back a long way too. My roots is Jamaica, and I grew up there from age 6 weeks to age 16 years old.
Wow. What part of Jamaica?
Kingston, Jamaica, but my mother's side is from Westmoreland.
Wow.
And my father's side from Westmoreland and Clarendon.
Nice.
So shout out to all of them.
We can't wait to get back to JA once this COVID stuff is behind us.
We're missing the Aki.
Daddy, are you Jamaican as well?
I'm from the Bahamas, but I have a lot of friends down there. My wife's family is from there. As she said, we're always in Jamaica. I would say on average about 3-4 times a year.
Oh, so you're Jamaican, man.
Nicholas grew up, Nicholas and his sister grew up visiting their grandmother in Jamaica.
All right. Well, thank you so much, guys, for being great role models. And thank you for joining us. I know you must be busy. So thank you for joining us. That was Nicholas Johnson, Princeton's first Black valedictorian, and his parents, Dr. Dexter Gregory and Dr. Anita Marie Brown Johnson. Coming
Thank
up
you.
next,
Thank you.
coming up next, we remember West Kingston. 10 years later will soon come.